What if I told you the Steam machine will be dead on arrival? It's going to be expensive, it's coming soon. Are Valve making the same mistake twice? Hey, what's cracking guys? So we've had a bit of an update on SteamDB with Valve updating the Steam machine, the Steam controller and the Steam frame to coming soon. So to me that indicates a, release frame of 3 to 6 months. So what's going on here guys? We haven't had any pre-release information, we haven't had pre-orders, we haven't had any marketing or anything since 2025, so things are a bit up in the air, but this is a bit of a juicy sort of morsel to talk about. So let's dig into the Steam machine a little bit. So I'm actually a little bit worried that Valve is trying too hard to position itself as a gaming PC rather than a console. The space that it's fighting for in the living room currently belongs to PlayStation, and I don't necessarily think that Valve are bringing enough goods to be able to dethrone them. Now, I really like the concept of high-end PC gaming in your living room environment. I mean, it's exactly the setup I've got here. So you can see my PC is in the computer games hardware set. We've got the couch at the back. It's all set up and ready to go. It is peak PC gaming. Sorry, by the way, it's a bit messy in here because I got a couple of things going on for the channel. So if you can sneak a peek in the background, there's a couple of reasons to stick around on computer games hardware. But I find Valve's messaging a little bit weird here. When it comes to the price, they really want you to know they're positioning this like a gaming PC with console-like capabilities, and it will be priced as such. But their marketing sort of goes into, hey guys, check out our new GameCube, we're, coming after the PlayStation market. So everyone's going to have a Steam console in their living room. So the messaging is a little bit off to me, and I'm not sure that I like it. But once you start looking at the hardware, it gets a little bit complicated for me. The Steam machine's specs look like this, right? It's got a semi-custom AMD Zen 4 CPU with 6 cores and 12 threads. So that's the first issue there. And then we have a semi-custom RDNA 3 GPU with 28 compute units. We've also got 16 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM and 8 gigabytes of dedicated GDDR6 VRAM. So look, for me, that is a very decent mid-range gaming PC, right? But what would you be saying to a PC gamer with those type of specs? That 8 gigabyte GPU, it's probably time to upgrade, right? Now, to be fair, right, Zen 4 is a pretty decent upgrade over the consoles, and AMD hasn't done anyone any favors with its piss poor support of RDNA 3 currently not having FSR4 and all that stuff. Very disappointing. But again, when we're talking about it, we're comparing it to consoles because this thing is in the console market. And I think that's what Valve want. They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to have console competition while keeping the prices at PC gaming prices. Hey, just want to jump in here and say, if you're enjoying any of the content on computer games hardware, please chuck us a like, share, and subscribe. Watching the videos really helps me out, guys. You can also support the channel by grabbing yourself a computer games hardware t-shirt at computergameshardware.myshopify.com. We've got tees, we've got mouse mats, we've got floor mats even. We're coming up with a whole bunch of stuff. There is something for everyone at the Computer Games Hardware store. So check it out in the video down below or at computergameshardware.myshopify.com. Hey, thanks for watching, you OGs, and all you new subscribers, big hello, thanks for joining. And I think its limitations is where it gets exposed a little bit, because it's not like a gaming PC. You're not going to be doing your like workstation tasks, on your giant TV, sitting on your couch with a keyboard. It's just not going to work like that. You can't upgrade it. It's not like a Steam Deck or one of the Windows handhelds or anything. It's not portable like the other ones. So it is firmly positioned in the console space, and I think Valve should learn that lesson real quick before this thing launches. And guess what, guys? One of Xbox's next move is going to be making Steam available on the Xbox platform. PlayStation are removing their first-party games from Steam to reposition themselves as console leaders to tackle the Steam machine and Xbox on these fronts. With the RAM and memory crisis in full swing right now, and reportedly only set to get worse, if Valve launched this thing at the reported $1,000 price point that they're looking at, depending on the configuration, well, they're pricing themselves just right out of the market. I mean, I was being grumpy when reports came out that this thing was going to be $700. And there's the pricing trap for me. At that price, who is this thing for? Who is going to be buying it? For $1,000, you could be buying a PlayStation Pro bundle with a couple of controllers and a game. You could be buying the 500 gigabyte variants of the Steam Deck or the Xbox ROG Ally. You could be buying a 5070 Ti or a 9070 XT. So to me, it's pretty wild that they're making this move within the next 6 months at this price point. So I think Valve have made a bit of a mistake trying to position this as a gaming PC, because, you can get a lot of good stuff for $1,000 for your PC. Hey, you can get half a stick of RAM for $1,000 at the moment. So, So I think Steam is in a really weird situation right now. People are getting buzzed because of this news that it's coming soon on SteamDB and all that. People are going to start getting excited, but things are going to turn a little bit when they start to really learn the price. Either that, or it's going to extend the delay out to a point where the RAM and the memory crisis is more manageable. But then you have to ask the question, like, what's coming in the future? We've already got Xbox talking about their next gen consoles and stuff like that. So this thing might be way out of spec by the time it even releases. So unlike most of my videos, I haven't just come to complain this time. I have probably a little bit of a better strategy. So hear me out, guys. What I think Valve should do is take pause, reposition a little bit, and think about what they're releasing. You know what I think Valve should do? I think they should go back to their original idea for the Steam machine. But instead of making it like an ecosystem of different systems by different manufacturers with different price points and all that, do exactly what they've done with the Steam Deck and make a few different variants. Now, we've already got 2 variants of the Steam machine. We've got the 512 gig version, then we've got the 2 terabyte version, which, sounds pretty good. What they should do is they should come up with a PlayStation Pro competitor, admit that this thing is a console, and go for that market. If they came out with an 8-core 16GB VRAM GPU model of this 2 terabyte, that would go absolutely off and wipe the floor with any current console that's out on the market currently. And it will even compete in the next generation. That would be absolutely nuts. With the upscaling technology that it's set to have, that would be a huge leap over any current console out on the market. That's what I think they should do. Admit to themselves that this is a console aimed at PC gamers to put in their living room and be the best at what they do. Be the highest end console you can possibly be on the market. Wipe the floor with everyone else and just take market share that way. I reckon that strategy makes way more sense today than it did over a decade ago. SteamOS is awesome. Proton works better than ever. Everyone's been introduced to Linux gaming. The last thing that I'd like to add is that I reckon what Valve should do is release the Steam controller and the Steam frame before the Steam machine. Everybody wants that controller. It looks absolutely awesome, and the Steam frame is absolutely incredible. And do you know what? Come to think of it, right? How much would the Steam frame benefit from a higher spec version of the Steam machine? 8 cores, 16 gigs of VRAM, that would be absolutely incredible. You could get crystal clear VR gaming in your living room, tether free, would be absolutely unreal. It would make VR go mainstream. But you know what? I bet you Valve will argue that's what gaming PCs are for. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Are you going to buy a $1,000 Steam machine? Let me know in the comments down below. Would you pay more to get a higher spec Steam machine? I know I certainly would. Anyway, I've had a really good time making this one, guys. Let me know what's going on in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.